guys, quick video while we're running down the highway here, just to follow up on endorsements. Endorsements are basically very much like any other professional that you go into their office, and when you go into these professionals' offices, like the doctors or lawyers or even accountants, and they always have these certificates hanging on their wall. And these certificates are basically endorsements. And these endorsements are saying that this person has learned the basic information required by law to be able to start practicing said endorsements. So that's really what an endorsement says, is you've learned the basic information and you're ready to go out in the world and try to make your own way. And as such, there's certain endorsements you'll need and certain ones you really don't need in hot shotting. One of the endorsements that you'll probably need in hot shotting is a combination endorsement, because by law a truck and a trailer are classified as two separate vehicles. However, whenever you hook the trailer onto the truck, well, it becomes a combination vehicle. That's what it's called. That's why it's called a combination endorsement. So that's one that you're probably going to need if you're doing hot shotting with a truck and a trailer. Now, there's some debate out there. Some people say, well, what about a manual endorsement? Okay. To me, getting a manual endorsement for the hot shotting industry is mostly every vehicle out there that you do hot shotting with is an automatic. Now, what I feel about the whole manual endorsement debate is, to me, going down and getting a manual endorsement on your license would be like going to get a new cell phone and telling the person that's going to sell you the cell phone that you want a 1997 model flip phone instead of a modern day smartphone. There's that much technological difference between a standard and an automatic transmission nowadays. So I really wouldn't worry about getting a manual endorsement, because the thing with endorsements is they can be added at any time to your license. All you got to do is go down, take the test, give them their money, and they'll give you the endorsement. That's kind of what it boils down to. So, not real big on a manual endorsement. There's certain endorsements that probably aren't going to really do you any good unless you're going into a big truck, doubles and triples. If you're doing big truck, then that's probably something that you're going to have. That's just the way it works. So you got to kind of look at what are your future goals with the license, the Class A that you're going to get. So that's kind of the long and the short of it is there's certain endorsements you probably don't need. In hot shotting, an air brake endorsement is something that you're not going to need, because generally everything you run is an automatic with electric over hydraulic or hydraulic brakes. So an air brake endorsement really won't do you any good. You can go back and get that at any time. All you have to do is go down and do an air leakage test. And, it's been so long since I did one, I probably can't even remember how to do it. That's how useful it's been for me. Not very useful, right? But for me, the hot shotting was, I run the numbers because I know my numbers, and you have to know your numbers in this business. And for me, a big truck just wasn't going to pay off, and it did not offer the kind of freedom that I needed. So I just thought, well, you know what? I think I'm just going to do some hot shotting instead. It's a harder life. I mean, it really is. And it's very much more demanding than bouncing down the highway in a big truck. It really is. So, keep that in mind whenever you're looking at, particular endorsements. Okay. Now, here's a little bit of a nugget of information. There is an endorsement that you really should look at getting, and that is your hazmat endorsement. I've hauled mini loads that some of them were hazmat, some of them were not. I booked one load that was paying really, really good, and I showed up and I was expecting, maybe some dirty ISO tanks or some cylinders or something like that. And I said, and they put it on the truck, and I said, okay, it's not labeled. You know, you don't have your hazmat labels on here. And they said, oh no, this wasn't labeled. We just require, if you're going to haul loads for us, you have to have a hazmat endorsement. How about that? You know, paid really well. Required just to have a hazmat endorsement, even though it wasn't a hazmat load. So that was pretty nice. And then there's been several times that I'd be trying to work my way back home, and unfortunately, some of the only stuff out there was maybe some dirty ISO tanks, you know, or tanks that hadn't been cleaned, basically. And fortunately, I did have my hazmat endorsement, was able to book those loads and throw them on here and shoot right on down the highway. So, you know, that's one that I do recommend. So when you're looking at getting your endorsements, you need to be able to say, okay, do I actually need this right now? Because the last thing you want to do is go down there and try to get all of them. You don't want to go down there and get all of them at one time, because you're just wasting money, is what it boils down to. So keep that in mind when you do decide to get your endorsement, and we will talk to you later then. Have a good one. Bye-bye.